So we're going to read Proverbs chapter 18, verse 20 and verse 21. So Proverbs chapter 18, verse 20. This is what it says. You have to live with the result of the words that you speak. And this is verse 21. Words are able to save life and to cause death. So you must accept the result of what you say. So let's start over again. So Proverbs chapter 18, verse 20. You have to live with the result of the words that you speak. And this is verse 21. Words are able to save life and to cause death. So you must accept the result of what you say. So this is pretty much just saying to watch your words, because our words are very powerful. You know, our words can cause death and our words can cause us to be successful. So we have to watch what we say. You know, a lot of times, as teenagers and as little kids, a lot of times we like to say, like when we're laughing, we like to say, oh my gosh, I'm dying, or oh my gosh, I'm dead, right? And stuff. And we need to really watch out what we say. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to watch out. We need to stop saying that because, even though we don't notice that we're saying that and stuff, even though a lot of kids don't notice that they're saying that, don't notice that can really happen to them, they just teenagers a lot of times say that because everybody else is saying it. They're hearing their friends say it. They're hearing their associates say it. They're hearing their classmates say it. So they just think it's a cool thing to say. But, that can really happen to you. A lot of times if you say, hey, I'm probably gonna die by a car crash or by a train, or by a train running over me or something like that, then you're gonna die by a train running over you. If you say, well, I'm rich in the name of Jesus, then you will be rich and stuff. So it's very simple. Our words can cause death and our words can cause life, and choose life, choose the positive side, But like I said, back to where I said, a lot of times kids, when they're laughing, they like to say, oh, I'm dying and all that kind of stuff. That just stems off a lack of knowledge. They don't truly understand what they're saying. Nobody has ever taught them, hey, that's not what you should be saying, So it just stems off a lack of knowledge. And that's why, that's why it's very important, to teach kids while they're young, the right things to do, the right things to say. Because when they're young, they're like, they're like a sponge. They kind of just, pick up every little information. They just do every little thing you tell them to do. But it gets harder when they get older. When you become a teenager, you're kind of getting set in your ways and it becomes more of a challenge. It's not impossible. It's not impossible for anybody to change. God can change a 90-year-old man, but it's more difficult, as you get older. It's very difficult, especially as an adult. It's almost impossible for a human being, to change a grown man or to change a grown woman. You have to let God do that. Literally, you have to let God do that because God can only do that. You know what I'm saying? But it's more easier. It's more easier to mold a teenager than to mold a grown man or a grown woman, But you see, when you're a teenager, it's like I said, when you become a teenager, it becomes a little bit more difficult because you're starting to set in your ways. Now, like I said, for, it's easier to mold kids. It's more easier to mold a 5-year-old than to mold a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Because a 15, 16-year-old, a teenager has a lot more knowledge and information than a 5-year-old does. That's why a 5-year-old just grasps everything, their parent tells them to do or, their parent tells them because they're young and they don't know anything about life and they don't know. But when you become a teenager, you start to know. You start to see things. You start to pick things up. You start to understand what life is about. So that's why I'm saying it's good to teach them young, but it's not impossible for a person to change. It's not impossible for a person to change how old they are. Like I said, they could be 90 years old and God can change them. So it does that, but it's more easier, when they're young. That's why God says teach your children up in the way they should be taught, so that's why it's more easier for a child to be, molded than an adult. But yeah, just make sure you watch your words, because the words are very powerful. Whatever you say, you're putting it out there. You're putting it out there for it to happen. So be very careful what you say. Be cognizant of what you're saying, because like I said, your words can either destroy your life. Your words can either kill you, because even though we think God is just words, no, words can kill you, or they can make you become successful. So be very careful what you say, and please watch your words.